Ni hao. Yeah, I'm turning Chinese. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Pepazeka. My name's Andre, and I hope the sound is working okay. Sorry, chewing on some nuts, not my own nuts. I feel like chewing my own nuts off today, but anyway. Who's all yeah? Buzzy, how's it going, Buzzy? Hope you are keeping well. Arbot, our 6-star Michelin chef, how's it going, Arbot? Thank you very, very much for popping. Cameron, my main man, sound check dude. Please tell me if the sound is working right. It's a mic that I bought yesterday. It's one of those little USB guys that plug in. So I hope that the sound is sounding okay and not too hollow. Who else is there? Ina, yeah, my wifey, so I can't swear anymore. Arbot, Cameron, Buzzy, Ellison, the beautiful lady from the Bay. How are you keeping? Lovely. Hendo, what dodgy Chinese Safa stumbled onto? Sound is good. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. There we go. And Debbie, I nearly forgot you there. Hello, Debbie. How are you keeping? Well, I am blasted. I'm trying to get a little bit of light because I haven't got a computer room running yet. So I'm in the dining room, come lounge, come kitchen area still. I tried not to blur the background this time, but I'm, of course, looking really blurry. I've tried to keep lights. So I'm not reflecting and goodness knows what everywhere. So hopefully I don't look too much like Casper in the process. But yeah, so be it. Cheers, just a sec. Well, I do have a new vape. Chinese vape. Hello, Nick. How's it going? How's it going? Always good to see you. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't going to stream this evening because I felt like I had been sitting in a tumble dryer all day, just being battered around. And I just thought, you know what? I can't do a second week without you guys. Dylan, how's it going, my friend? Always good to see you as well, Dylan. Not Casper, still Andre. Thank you very much. Debbie says, I'm a bit green today, but listening from my phone as dying to hear updates. Just want to send love. Thank you. Congratulate you on settling into a new home. Thank you very, very much, Debbie. Yes, and settling in it is. Work is an absolute, would I say, blast. It's like hitting the switch of an atomic bomb. I was at work all day today I left home at about 7:15 and I got home at about 6:30 this evening. So, yeah. What happened is we had parent meetings today as well. So we got Friday off and Sunday's a normal working day for us today. So we have an extra long week. We had parent meetings the whole day. And then when the parents finished leaving, everyone said, well, the kids are coming back to school. We need to start teaching something tomorrow. Have you got everything prepared? And then everything flew off. I've actually still got to sit and do some work in that. And I don't know how to operate this. I don't know how to operate that. And this program has got to get done there. And this program has got to get done there. There are so many protocols and standards. I'm doubting myself these days. Cam, we're back on stage 5 load shedding. Yay, Oskam's, yeah, Oskam's Samir. Yeah. But yes, it's been interesting. It's been fascinating. We've taken the subway. I don't know if I told you last time that we took the subway and we jumped on. We went off to a place called Sam's Club. Apparently, it's like a Walmart, but it's like a metro in South Africa where like everything is like sold at wholesale type of things, etc., and you can buy stuff. And I got a toaster there. But yeah. Got my toast, so I can eat my toast these days. Otherwise, I think we're very fortunate. Difficult to actually say because I've only been here such a short time. I think this is our 3rd week here, and not allowed to doubt you yourself. You're more than capable. Thanks. I'm just, yeah, it's just, Debs, when you feel you're actually moving one step forward and two steps back all the time, it's like, whoa, something's not working here. And as I say, I've got so much catching up to do. I've literally got the other laptop going, and I've got to, when I finish here, I've got to phone mum and get onto that laptop and start working as well. So I might not be as long as what I should be. But yeah, just having a general chat with everyone. Yeah, learning to ride the subways, still using Didi, which is China's version of Uber. And as I said, I shouldn't really say because I've been here such a short time, but my absolute feeling is, obviously this is one heck of a first world country. Everything is technologically advanced. Yeah, everything just like runs off cell phones and techno. It's just not funny. The school does, the country does, everything does. But somehow I feel that Cambodia was more foreigner friendly. They'd have English names on the shop fronts. They'd at least have a little bit of English names on the food, and that there'd be a little bit of a food variety that actually encompassed a little bit more Western food, and that where that was a little bit of a challenge for us to actually find around. Yeah, it's sort of like China's like, we're the first world country, we're a superpower, and we deal in high-tech technology, and this is it. You either fit in with us or tough. We don't adapt for you. So you can make it home, you can make it comfortable for yourself, whatever, but they are not going to be changing for you as such. So yes, not allowed doubt. You'll get used to it, Andre. Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, that's why I say I don't want to say so long. So long you're not flapping like a fish out of water like the first week. Yeah, so far so good. As I say, I look more like somebody who's put their finger into a spark plug at the moment, or into a plug hole. Mom is still struggling with shingles. I'm like phoning her about every second day now. I haven't phoned her since Thursday. So as soon as we finished, I'll give her a call. She's still very, very much painful. We've actually phoned in. I did phone the matron and say, hey, you know what? We should do this. The doctor should, because at one stage she was like, just like take Panadas if you're not feeling well. And that's not going to help her. But apparently they have put her onto some kind of antibiotic now twice a day. So hopefully that's going to do something. Hopefully I have better news this evening. So it is still a worry. So yeah, if you got some prayers out there, just pop them in for mom as well. I know Buzzy's mom is also needing a lot of prayers as well. She's been attacked, so that is absolutely dreadful, if I can put it that way. Dylan, it carries on. Hopefully you too busy too soon. Hopefully going to get busy too soon. I don't know where we're going. I'm already too busy. Yeah. China is, as I say, advanced like you will not believe. But yes, it's very, very much almost self-sufficiently advanced. Yeah, Cameron says, I think that is how South Africa should be, but we're too diverse to do that. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate the wish with my mom there. Yeah, so Cameron says, my mom is having problems with her eyes. Oh, no. She's seeing split images through her eyes. Oh, no, that's terrible, man. Yes, it doesn't rain and then it pours, as they would say. And you don't stop getting rain. We've had quite a bit of rain this week as well. At the same time, I still don't have the computer room. As you can see, I'm sitting in the lounge dining room area, waffling off the laptop. I, however, did find this mic yesterday. I went to a store, and I know it's not far if you live in Johannesburg and Cape Town and all these wonderful places, but when you're paying for like an Uber or a Didi, it's far. 23 Ks away from here, about 23, 24 Ks. It's a huge, huge building, and it's about 4 stories. And if you go in, all the brand name places are there. Your Republic of Gaming, your Dells, your Epsons, your Canons, your Nikons, your iPhones, your Apple, you name it, Huawei's, your, what's the other one, that's Xiaomi's and everything, the whole toots. Then you go up another floor, and then it's just like a flea market of computer stuff. Everybody's got their own like little section of computer stuff. You go up to the next one and it's more peripherals and things like that. And you go to the next one and it's just gaming things and stuff like that, and computer builds. And I thought I died and gone to heaven. I really did. So I was shuffling across there with my translator. Hello, I'm looking for. I'm looking for. Yeah. Speak back into yet again. Yeah. Speak into my phone. Yeah. I've said that you can speak Chinese. But anyway, so I bought a screen and I bought a mic. So hopefully the mic is okay. And the screen I will set up when I get a desk. Now, I've ordered a desk yesterday. Eventually, I got around to ordering a desk because we had to wait for payday on Friday, first or Thursday or Friday. But anyway, before we could actually order stuff again because money doesn't last. So we ordered a desk and a chair. So hopefully that comes because everything is online. Yeah, you can go to IKEA, but I just didn't like what I found on IKEA, and I wasn't going to go there again and then try and drag a desk halfway across the city back home again, which is going to cost me, first of all, just the trip getting there and back is going to cost me possibly more than half of what the desk would have cost me on Taobao. Now, Taobao, yeah, is your best friend because you can order anything you want to on Taobao. There's even a place on Taobao, let me tell you, called Cape Salad Deli, I think it is. Ina will correct me if I'm wrong. But I got Allergex tablets and I got Grandpa tablets from them. And you can order Knorr and Aromat and Boerewors and what else? Minestrone soup, tomato soup. All kinds of South African stuff. You can even get Four Cousins wine from them. You can get a bottle of Richelieu if you want from them. You can get Savannah from them. So, yeah, as far as getting South African things, I'm starting to sort of hook up a little bit. That's not bad at all. Oh, and Ina says biltong. Yes, thank you. And we can get biltong from them as well. So we've just sort of been testing the waters. So we didn't order much. I ordered a box of Allergex and a box of Grandpa headache tablets because that's all I'm taking at the moment, like Grandpa. But I'm busy running out of my powders, so I figured, well, I'll just crush the tablets if nothing else works. But yeah. IKEA is fabulous, but the building assembling not so great. Well done on great SA Products Finds. Yeah, you've got to start fending for yourself around here to actually just start settling in. So it's starting to settle in. If the desk and that comes off Taobao is also build it yourself. But fortunately, when we were at IKEA last time, I bought a nice little tool set so we can actually build the desks that come. And the chair you've also got to build as well. And if the desk and chair that I get is, well, it was a very basic desk and chair that I got. So I will hopefully put that together. And if it works, I'll get Ina one next month. Will that translator app translate mother-in-law? I'm afraid it's not allowed to swear. But yeah, so we ordered because it was just cheaper than having to travel to IKEA and back, and I don't think I can get them to deliver. And I'm still not too sure what my address is. This guy's given me a whole line of Chinese writing, and that's your address. So whenever I need to give someone my address, I send them that whole line of Chinese writing, and somehow things do get to me. So it works. My TV box didn't want to work yet. It actually worked for a day or two or three. And then it suddenly stopped working, said connected, but no internet. So in the end, I got hold of a chap. Funnily enough, Suan, I can't remember what his surname is now. South African dude. He's chatting in Afrikaans to me. And he sells TV boxes, yeah? So one TV box later and a few days later, I now have a TV box with everything, but I mean everything. There isn't a channel that isn't worth mentioning that I don't have. I literally have everything. I even have DSTV. We've been watching CakeNet. We've been watching SABC News, Supersport 1 and 2. So I'm really looking forward to the rugby now. So yeah, it's an amazing box. It's just got a little bit of slow reactions. I think it's because of the amount of stations. There's live TV, there's movies on demand, there's series on demand, and every single streaming series and every single streaming movie. So if you're looking for Disney, you're looking for Netflix, you're looking for Amazon, you're looking for Apple. It's all there, and not too badly priced either. So yeah. Arbot is was with TV boxes. Arbot, you should have sent me one up here to China, bro. Mind you, if you can get behind this firewall, you'd be a lucky man. But yeah, so I imagine everyone's been watching news, because for a few seconds I've actually been able to catch some news. However, I haven't been able to like catch primetime news, because if I start watching primetime news at like 6, 7 at night, I've got to sit at like 2 o'clock in the morning to watch the damn news. And the only thing I get up for at 2 o'clock in the morning is rugby, not news. So I usually, like on Saturday evening, I was getting like Saturday morning's news. And like if I watch news here now, I'd be getting like probably the morning's news. What's 19 minus 6? No, yeah, 19 minus 6 is 2, so about 2 o'clock the afternoon. 1 o'clock. Is it 19 minus 6? 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 o'clock. So I'll get to 3 o'clock the afternoon news now. Colonel Chris White, you got Nas Botha F9R analysis about the upcoming World Cup. Oh, that'll be good. I did look at him the other evening. I was watching him. That's when you get through all his Giselle songs before he actually starts. So I thought, let me watch Chris while I go to sleep for a while. And of course, like by the time I've gone through all the Giselle things, I'm like half asleep already. But yeah. What's it? You looking well? Yeah, no, I'm feeling well. We're very fortunate. As I said earlier on, when we open the fridge, there's food. When we go to sleep, there's a roof over our head. And when I wake up the next morning, I have a job to go to. And that's more than what a lot of people can say in this world. So I'm very, very fortunate. What's it? Ronaldo's going live because the president is addressing us. Oh, Jesus. The president wanting to tell you how they are going to take the polls next year. I saw that. Hey, Colonel. Play one Giselle song. Saturday was an exception. Sorry. Yeah, look, we've learned to love Giselle, so we've got them on the big TV here as well. So it's just that the one I decided to actually watch as I was like putting my head down, and then I haven't caught up on my news and everything. And yeah, it went through Giselle. But I must say, Colonel, I far prefer Giselle to... no, let's not go down that road. It's a good one. But yes, I was catching up. But yeah, so I got the bonus tracks. But yeah, as I said, I'm watching South African news, and one of the most terrible tragedies that I've come across is the matter of fact of the fire in the building in Johannesburg. That, what is it, 74 people were killed. That is an absolute disaster. Okay, you've got Nas Botha coming up as well. There we go. Let me just put it up there. Henda's put the link up there. Nas Botha interview with Chris Wyatt. The man in Pennsylvania who knows more about South Africa than most of the South African government themselves. Well, not most, all of South African government themselves. Really, bunch of bananas. We're going to win the polls. And the only, the only partner they'll take in is the ANC. And it's like, it's not a joke, but yeah. But yes, as I said, I was watching what a terrible tragedy they were covering. And I thought, you know what, this is the last thing I need. I've just got hold of news, and I'm just able to news, and everything was just covered in news was this building, condemned building that was burnt. And it's inevitable. Hey, John, how's it going? Oh, always good to see you as well. So, yeah, it's absolutely tragic, if I can put it to you that way, to see that. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, what it was, who it was. You don't have people murdered in that way. I don't know, I don't want to sit and throw blame games around. All I want to actually say is it was a major tragedy. I don't want to play who and what on there. I don't have the patience for Ramaphosa anymore, Zach. Go, Endo. Yes, no, Orbot, I agree. I am not dooming. I'm not dooming the song. We have learned to love Giselle in this household, and I think Chris, you'll be pleased to know Giselle is ringing the heavens in China as well, because we do put the TV up loud when it is on as well. So yeah, especially her Afrikaans song, and you sort of like get the little lump in your throat because then you start missing home, which is yeah, one of those things. But wonderful to have you on. It's very humbling to think that you actually even bothered to go into Pepper's Echo. But yeah, we're just really, really grateful to have everyone around. As I said, I wasn't going to stream this evening. It was just like, wow, you know what? These people really boost you. So it's time that you actually just put your foot in it. The other thing that was actually very, very shocking is in a little town like Louis Trichardt, where how many was it? 7 people were killed on taking out a house that was responsible for heisting money, transport trucks or whatever. Louis Trichardt, for crying out loud. Oh, I don't know if it's a big or small place, but when I used to know it, it wasn't really very, very big. And this like smart mansion and everything that I was looking in the news, and I'm just wondering if it's actually worth watching. The 18, there we go, 18-inch shootout. Thank you very much, Chris. Already knows more. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I was trying to bring the number down because I thought I was going to exaggerate, but thank you very much. There we go. In a place like Louis Trichardt, I mean, this is in the home suburbs. This is in suburbs. I kid you not, my friend in Alberton, okay, not on such a grand scale, but they had a shootout. I think where his house is, there's a street that comes down into his house. 2 houses up from there, same scenario. I don't think anyone was killed in that instance. I think they might have wounded 1 or 2 people, but also a house where these cash in transit people are operating from. It's absolutely mad, and this is in Alberton. Yeah, well, there we go, Hendo. Louis Trichardt, we've forgotten about that. It's, you know, I have been off the news properly. I mean, other than, and I haven't even, Chris, in all embarrassment, I must say, I haven't watched you as regularly as what I used to, because I've been flying off the hammer left, right, and center. So I do humbly apologize. But you know what? Just falling off the news barrow as such, because that was my main. I mean, in South Africa, I didn't even have SABC or anything like that. It's Sky News or something to that effect, if you're going to watch it, or CNA, which is Central News Asia. Otherwise, my news came from basically Chris's Night Owls edition, or his basic news edition, which I really, really have always said, you don't get better news than from Colonel Chris White. So I have not watched there, but it's just been a hell of a bump. And coming back into news and politics is almost saddening, I must say, because you're busy counting your blessings on the one side, because you're trying to counter pressure from the other side. And, you know, sometimes you actually get this like little tinge and you're going, I miss home. I really miss home, because say what you like, South Africa's home, whether you're in Cairo, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in China, whether you're in flippin' Cambodia. Home is Africa. Home is South Africa. It's just what it is. I think, Kendo, you'd be the same to be able to say there. But yeah, it's, when you watch it, it brings a sadness back to you when you suddenly realize that, wow, this country is really in more dire straits than what you like to imagine. And I always like to imagine that things are going to get better, and things are going better. And then I get news like from Buzzy that her mother's been attacked so badly. You get news on the news of, what's it, 74 people dying in a fire in a building. I mean, absolutely needlessly. heists, money heist, cash in transit heist gangs being pulled, attacked in suburban areas. I mean, where people live. This is where children and people and families call home, that these people are operating from. And it's sad. It really is sad. And that's why I said, I think I'm having hard times just keeping up with work. And then you take a look, and I say to myself, you know what? I said to Ina this evening, when I open my fridge, we have food. When I go to sleep, there's a roof over my head. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I've got a job to go to. And that's more than what a lot of people can say. So, sometimes I forget to take that gratitude part of life, and it's really, really important. Like I sit here and I think, why the hell do I have to work tonight? But you know what? Thank goodness I have to work tonight, because that means I have a job tomorrow. But yeah, as Endo says, true, South Africa will always be home. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. Our favorite European South African, Hendo. Shocked. Sorry. The Veep doesn't seem to be. I hope I'm not stuttering and going all over the place. But yeah, I have to use another program to make sure I get out of here as well. Shocked to many Saffers abroad how bad SA's backslid. You know what? You hear it, but I don't think you quite comprehend it until you come quite close to it as well. Ramaphosa said that the jobless rate. Let's bring this up. Ramaphosa said that the jobless rate in South Africa is now at 50%. So 1 in every 2 South Africans does not have a job. Does not have a legal job. The 80s were not a good time in South Africa. I'll still maintain that as well. You know what? For us who lived pretty sheltered lives, I think it seemed well. For a good amount of people that were abused by people who gave themselves the right. Now, I don't think I would have abused someone, because I wasn't brought up that way. I was brought up to respect everyone, but everyone wasn't brought up that way, and they were given the right to abuse others. And this is why we call it reverse, because basically what we are facing now is what was being faced in the opposite way in the 80s. And it hasn't been very nice either way. I'm not saying you play tit for tat. I think it's absolutely disgusting that you cannot, in your own hindsight, see from a previous era that you cannot run a country properly. I mean, it's just beyond me. But yes, so it is. There we go. Hinda says, my younger brother's still struggling to find work in SA. You know what? If they could just possibly control their immigration, because of course they had to throw their gates open to the rest of Africa as well. As I've said to you before, DVD, he is struggling like mad to get his girlfriend from Cambodia to be able to go and visit in South Africa. And it's hoops and jumps and obstacles and goodness knows what. And then they go to Thailand because there's no embassy in South Africa to be able to go and get yourself registered or get the visas and passes. So you've got to go to Thailand, Bangkok, to be able to go to the closest South African embassy there. And then it's too early, and this form's not right, and this form's not right, and that form's not right. And you haven't proved that you've got enough money, and you haven't proved enough that you won't be, that you have no good enough reason to come back, and you haven't proved enough that you're not trafficking her, and all kinds of stuff. It is absolutely, absolutely mad. So I said to him, DVD, why didn't you just take her to Zimbabwe and she can walk over into South Africa? What's it? Pepper's Echo, they can see it. Yes, Chris, I agree. They can see it. It's intentional. They keep on pulling those scabs off. I mean, it's the same with the race card. The guys that are pulling those race card scabs off are usually the guys in power, the guys who have it all. There's very, very few times, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you find that there's very few times that it's that the race card gets played from the bottom up. It gets played from the top down. And yes, I've said it before. It is in the ANC's best interest. And now I'm changing my channel should not be political, and I'm sorry to say, but I'm just chatting about it now. So we're just having a general chat. But it's in the ANC's best interest to keep their majority poor and uneducated. The longer they keep their majority poor and uneducated, the longer they will remain in power. And the way to do that is unemployment. Because the minute you become employed, you earn a living. You learn to work with money, you learn to go to school, you learn to finish university without toying through it, and you actually get a job. And next thing you can think for yourself, and next thing the ANC is out on their ass because they have uplifted their people. It is in their best interest not to uplift their people. I don't know if I'm talking through my butt there, but yeah. Seriously need to get rid of the ANC, throw the gates open to Africa. Was the George Soros behind that? Yeah. It's mad because in the one hand they're throwing the gates wide open, the other hand they're having xenophobia. The EFF don't know if they want to go left or right because then they're fighting for rights, and then they're trying to close down because they now are unhappy about people taking jobs. They just don't know what they want to do. And as Chris and Ronaldo were talking about the other day, they freaking trashed stores, harassed people, broke down legally owned property over freaking shampoo, a shampoo ad. And that's never mind the clothing store that they trashed due to a shirt with a little monkey on it that said, "What's the cutest monkey in the jungle?" And it happened to be on a non-white kid. And there was no intention. They were actually selling the shirt, and it was really a cute saying for a toddler. But of course, that created an absolute throng of destruction. Absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, where does this kind of intelligence come from? Keeping you poor and uneducated. I really shouldn't be commenting on what I don't know the best about, but I'm sorry. It's just my personal pathetic little lay vision on it, which sometimes does pull on a string or two. Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah. Dylan says, so true, says Debbie, keep them dumb and stupid, and you can control them. I mean, I think that's the whole idea, is to just, I think the ANC will rule over ashes. They'll burn the country to the ground, and their success will be that they are still in power, even though they're ruling over ashes, instead of saying, hey, we've built a country. I think that's why they admired Mugabe so much, not for the fact that his country was in an absolute shambles, but for the fact that he managed to stay in power. It didn't matter what the country looked like, you were in power. So their ideal isn't to build a country, it's to rule a country. Whether it is ashes or whether it's not is irrespective. It's that I'm in power. Yeah, I think it's going to take a long time. Even if the ANC is voted out, they will still cause mayhem like they are doing Yarin Mgeni. I don't know. I'm really inquisitive because I'm not an analyst and I don't have enough experience or insight into political views and things. I think that is best left to people like Ronaldo and Chris when you're looking at what's going to happen with the ANC next year. I am very inquisitive to see what happens because I don't know how a smooth change will just happen. I can't see it. But once again, as I said, that is rather left to the professionals and what they're doing there. My insight into that is all but dangerous. Communists love to impoverish and dumb down the masses. Typical modus operandi. Yeah, there's one way of doing things and there's another way of doing things. As I said to you, here in China, they're self-sufficient on high tech. So, yeah, you can do it when you've put it up there. But you've got to lift your country up. I've never seen cleaner roads. I've never seen cleaner pavements. These roads get washed 2-3 times a a week. And I'm talking about washed. I'm not talking about swept. I'm talking about a truck riding with sprayers blasting all the roads, and not the main roads. All the roads get cleaned, not the main pavements, all the pavements. I can go walking around a corner downstairs in our area, and I don't live in, well, there's an EFC area which I'd love to live in. It's just a little bit too expensive. EFC is the Euro American Finance Center, and it's lovely. It's beautiful. I did show you shots of it time before, a week before last. And it's huge pavings, and it's beautiful, and it's entertainment and everything, and the whole toots, all clean. If you walk outside, yeah, I don't have the Western restaurants and everything like that outside my compound or my complex or whatever you want to call it, but it is spotless. It is spotless. I was shocked to see a straw packet flying around the other day, and I pointed it out to my wife, and I went, "Ooh, look, there's a straw packet." But yeah, it's going to take a long time to repair the damage. Just wish they would reintroduce the campaign Zap It. Remember Zap It in the ZB cans? Zap It in the ZB, Zap It in. We had ZB stickers, ZB cans, everything in the when I was at school. I remember Zap It in the ZB can. Yeah, that was a huge campaign. I think it was pretty successful. Of course, they get washed. Commies need to find work for unemployed. Chris. Yeah, well, at least there's an employment rate, I suppose. I must say, crime is non-existent. I know probably for many different reasons and that, but I must say I've never felt unsafe. I've never been treated badly. Slowly but surely, I've been able to get hold of everything I need. The school that I work for runs at an exceptionally high standard. And it is, it's actually twinned with a school in Wimbledon in the UK. Probably why the executive principal is Irish. Very nice chap. And the international principal is also very nice. And I think I think the one's Welsh and the one's Irish. I don't know, but they're also from European side there as well. But everybody has been most helpful, most assistant. Everyone that I've bumped into in the streets, in the shops. You know what? I can honestly say that it's not. It hasn't been unpleasant for us. You know, if I felt unpleasant, I think it would have been probably the over the top for us. So you know what? With what I have struggled with, I'm not going to be a Roger Good and whistle crap through my ass. So that's why I refrain from actually discussing everything, because I'm not going to put myself into a position where I don't want to be. But I must be honest with you, we have not felt unwelcome. Even when we've been in the police station, they have been most friendly, most accommodating. The one day we went to fetch papers and they'd left them at the gate for us, and we went to the main station, and the lady's like, no, sit down, we'll get you some water, I'll run. And she ran off and fetched them for us and came back, did her very best in English. I must say, my wife, I feel very safe with her walking anywhere during the day, even in the evening. But you know what? She'll shoot into town and back, and we really have no worries about that. It's very fortunate. Once Chris, of course, they get washed. That's because capital punishment works as a deterrent for my. Yeah. You know what, Chris? You're right. Something that I noted, and I said to you I said to the viewers the last time as well. I said, for whatever reason it is, I'm not going to go into that. The police are respected, yeah. And I think that's something South Africa really misses, is police that say, do this, and people do that. Funnily enough, let me be honest with you, they are not, I found probably more of a arrogant attitude on police and customs and that in Cambodia, and more friendly over here. You know what? They'll actually give you a smile, and they'll give you a hand, and they'll give you help. But yes, something that we need in South Africa, probably. As Chris say, I feel perfectly safe, even leaving keys in front door. an occasion by mistake, but I didn't live in the CCP, Chris. Yeah. But you know what? I'm not saying you've got to move here, but what I'm saying, I'm just giving you a spin-off of our experience. It's it's you've got to. There's a lot you've got to accept to be accepted, but I think it's a fair trade in the end. Uh, don't come here as an activist. It's not going to help you, obviously. I've come here as a teacher, and my job is to teach, and I have found a very, very professional, stringent school to actually do it in. I think I've actually pushed the buck on that as well. So, as I said, I count my lucky stars. I count my blessings. I'm very, very fortunate. And in anything in life, there's frustrations, which you've got to work with. And if you can actually learn to work with them, in Cambodia, we had a friend who stayed 8 months, and that's it. He wasn't going to take this place anymore, and he left. We chose to see it differently. And to this very day, I am very, very fond of Cambodia still. I miss the simplicity of life there sometimes as well. There's just not so much high tech. Life in Cambodia is very, very simple. You know what is? You've got money, you pay for this, and you get that, and it's that easy. Yeah, Chinese don't like losing face. The Japanese, that is another reason why they educated foreigners in China is normally left alone. Don't want to make bad headlines. Yeah, I'm not going to, because I mean that would be pretty stupid for me, doing bad mouthing people where I really, as I said, I really can't. But I'm not going to be a Roger Good and try and tell you how bad the rest of the world is. I mean, I miss my country very, very much. I have how many times turned over the penny and said, what if should we not try? Could we not? Should we not? Maybe. It just never, when we did the maths, end up with a positive figure at the bottom of returning to South Africa. Not right now, unfortunately. Hopefully in our lifetime, maybe. But for me to return to South Africa right now would be probably close to suicidal, because I would really deliberate or put myself on the back leg if I was able to find work, if I was able to find a place to stay. You know what? Going on holiday there is one thing. Living there, I know, is another thing. Coming here has been an experience so far. I do hope to have more of an experience of it. And you know what? When my contract is finished, well, we'll see. Maybe we're happy. I mean, I know people who've been here 8, 9, 10, 11 years. I know people who've left after 1 year. I just wanted to see what a first world country was like as well. But, and boy, oh boy, as I said to you, the technology is out there. Holiday. What is a holiday in South Africa? Chris, we don't all go to South Africa and then report 20 hours a day and then try and sleep for 4 and make it. Oh yeah, you're never off. You decided to take on journalism, and you took the hottest country of them all, and you took South Africa, and you said, "I'll make it mine." And look at you now. Look at you now. Well, I hope you get a bit of a holiday in France. Yeah, no, you've done some massive rushing around and streaming at funny times of the day and night and all over the place and in the nooks and crannies. So I really can't complain about having to sit at a table over here as well. But yeah, it's been an amazing ride, an amazing experience, and the bottom line is always having these amazing people look at you. And yeah, what's Lynn say, Colonel? You need a holiday after coming to RSA. it really doesn't matter where you are in the world, I would probably say. I think is these days, the world moving so fast. I mean, the difference, you talk about the difference between the 80s and now, is the 80s never had email, never had social media, never had messaging apps like Telegram, WhatsApp. We use a thing here called Ding Talk. It's like Telegram. It is going off with files and things consistently. Um, Cloud-based things. I mean, everybody's just on top of you. I can imagine, Chris, I mean, you probably don't have a minute's rest because you're just getting these feeds all over the place. I mean, YouTube's there. Uh, you name it. Information is flying at such a pace at the moment. Um, I'm afraid for how fast it can actually go. But in the 80s, when I did a project, I went and I grabbed hold of one of those encyclopedias that my dad bought from one of the traveling salesmen who knocked on the door and said, "Oh, we've got these encyclopedias. Would you like to buy one?" And he said, "Yes, my son can do his homework with it." And that's what we got to do. And we quietly paged through there and wrote out. We didn't go onto the information highway and suddenly start copying and cutting and pasting and PowerPointing and flushing out these phenomenally looked things. When somebody wanted you, they phoned you on the telephone. And I remember when I started off in a little place called Lime Acres. It's between Postmasburg and Kimberley. Postmasburg being closer to Uppington. But we had one of those phones that you still swung the handle with, and you listened for the rings. And if you weren't there, you weren't there. They'd phone again, and that was it. It wasn't like, "Oh, we've got you on the cell phone. We phone you immediately. 20 other people phone you immediately. We send you messages." We used to have strings of Christmas cards. Everyone actually wrote a letter. I know you can't do it these days with the post office anymore. I don't know which post runs properly, but people used to write each other letters. And when it was your birthday, you actually got a birthday card handwritten, not a Facebook picture pasted on there. And luckily, Facebook reminded me about your birthday. So, Wêreld Spectrum, there we go, Orbot. Yeah, Hendo, you think technology is bad now? Wait until AI kicks in over the next. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. The speed of technology is what's creating this pressure these days. And if we can actually just look over our little fence of this massive amount of technology, the faster, the better, the quicker, the easier, this is what I'm saying. They phoned you even when I started working in 1992. I was started in the hotel business. I started with City Lodge Hotels. And if we wanted to send information to somewhere, you faxed it. And if somebody phoned for you, they took a message if you weren't there. When you got to the hotel, you got your message, and then you did what you needed to do. Nobody got hold of you on a cell phone. Nobody got WhatsApped or SMS'd or sent you files and that immediately, while 10 other people are sending you files as well, and another 3 people are trying to call the shot at the same time. And it's just getting out of hand, and you need to upload this onto this cloud and that onto Teams and this onto this. And the kids these days, what, kids, you used to have a textbook and you used to do work. These days they have different programs that they log into, and your homework is actually allocated on this program. You do this and this and this exercise, and that program you read that and that book, and this program you do this and this exercise, and you actually physically go and draw the information from there, and then you actually score people. It's, the poor kids these days are crushed under information as well. Yeah. Arbot, I've got to put that one up. Wêreld Spectrum, remember that. Oh, I've got telex and faxes there. There we go. Wêreld Spectrum. And that was sold to you by a little frail guy who came to the door looking very neat in his suit, and he's got his encyclopedias under his arm or in his big suitcase that he's come to tell you about, that you can make 6 or 12 payments on it and it'll be yours. And they trusted you to post them checks. We were too poor to afford that. Yeah, we went to the local library, says Enda. That's another thing that used to work. The library. Do they libraries still exist these days? Because I don't know if people actually read them. These days, there's audiobooks. So you get read too. Unfortunately, I struggle with audiobooks because it's, and one day they, and then like chapter 77, oh crap, I've got to go back to chapter 3. And yeah, so fortunately, I do still read. I haven't had time to read yet. Again, I'm in the middle of a nice Wilbur Smith, which I still enjoy. And I brought my books with, and I made enough pack them as well. So, and I still like the feel of a book and the pages that page over. The fax machine was the most advanced tech in the office. Yeah, well, then the beeper. Yeah, well, even when we got paid, the branch manager and the accountant, they each had a key to the main safe, and they would go to the main safe together, unlock the main safe, and they would take out, whoa, and behold, the checks, the check paper. And head office would have sent the accountant the amounts to put into the program for each person to be paid. And then she would lock her door the one afternoon, and we knew our checks were being printed. And you just, this, and those checks were printed. She'd tear them off and put them into envelopes. And the next morning, we'd all stand there ready to get our little envelope with our checks that were printed the next day. And it had to say salary on the check so that it could clear immediately. Otherwise, it would take 7 days to clear, and you couldn't pay your rent within those days. And that was terrible. Telexes were a nightmare. Yeah. Telexes. Remember those things. What is the other thing? Telex and fax. Technology is just blew us. I think technology put the pressure on us, and that's something. When people go, it's not the 80s. Do we actually realize that we didn't have the technology that we had, that we have today in the 80s, and that the 80s were a lot less pressurized because of that? The 80s worldwide was a lot less pressurized. Buzzy says, yes, we still have a library. Wow. Lekker wind gehad, says Debbie. Agenda. Reader's Digest. Remember Reader's Digest books? My mom used to subscribe to them. You used to get the condensed version of a book as well for Reader's Digest as well. But I used to like the jokes page in the Reader's Digest. Quality small magazine in the 1980s. Where is it these days? Can you still get a Reader's Digest? You used to get a National Geographic book. I miss the magazines. That's one thing I miss terribly. Cambodia, no such thing as a magazine. I haven't seen anything over here as a magazine either. Everything is get it online. I like to walk into a store and feel it and look at it. Unfortunately, I walked into that big tech store a little bit late because I couldn't find anywhere to get a printer. I've now ordered a printer online, which is lying in my little office, which I'll set up when I get a desk, which I also ordered online as well. It's amazing. One thing in Cambodia, you can get anything by Facebook as well. But yeah, I used to have stores that I could go to and buy things at a shop. South Africa, I could walk in and buy things in a shop. Technology just puts everything online. You want grandpa tablets, you buy it online. You want boerewors, you buy it online. You want biltong, you buy it online. You want aromat, you get it online. You want a toaster, you get it online. What was the other thing that we got online as well already? We bought a printer, I've bought a mouse, an exercise mat, an iron, a kettle. It's crazy at the amount of speed, and it's worldwide. This happens. This isn't a China thing. I mean, I was talking to people about this checkout thing, and somebody said, "Oh, well, we get that in the States here as well." And someone said, "Yeah, in Australia it works as well. You get the shops where you just check yourself out." And it's like, well, it's mad. I'd like to see us try and self-checkout in South Africa. You can just close the doors after the day because they're going plunder things anyway. Imagine when you give them the opportunity. But yeah, let me not go into politics again. Went out of business if Reader's Digest. Reader's Digest was quality. Went out of business, Reader's Digest. Did they go out of business? That's such a pity. That was such a great book. I mean, that was my cell phone on the toilet. We had the pile of Reader's Digests next to the toilet. And that's what we used to sit on the toilet. Now, these days, you sit in Facebook on the toilet and answer your WhatsApps and Telegrams and try and see what file's being sent. Forward a file, try and fill in a file on there and send it back. I'm telling you, you're already forming a crust over there by the time you're finishing off all your jobs on the toilet, when you could usually just sit back and gracefully read a Reader's Digest on the toilet. What a pleasure. I'm going into 4 hours of load shedding now. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to go into 4 hours of work now as well. Loved CNA bookstores. Don't get magazines anymore. What happened to National Geographic magazines? What happened to Time magazine? I mean, these are things as I got older that I enjoyed reading. That's when I stopped enjoying the articles in the Scope so much. Everyone's toilet magazine. It was. I mean, everybody read a Reader's. Don't tell me you never read a Reader's Digest or an Archie comic in the toilet. Definitely. One of those two. Or the Vatir. But things were so much quieter, so much easier. So when you're comparing things in life to the 80s, just remember the technology that was not there in the 80s, that didn't put the pressure of life on you at the moment. People, and as Endo said, what about it? Sorry. Chris, no more toilet talk. I think I've got to put a lid on it and can this one. So yeah, so no more toilet talk. Guys, all I'm saying is, in the world today, doesn't matter where you are, who you are. Time magazine got woke toilet paper. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and what you are. I think it's important that we're trying to remember to be grateful for the people around us that actually there for us genuinely. As I say, not those that are willing to give a handout, but to take care of us. Be grateful for what we do have. As I said, you know what, I've got work to do tonight, and I'm not very, very chuffed about it, but that means I've got a job to go to tomorrow. You know, my stomach wasn't so well yesterday. That means I actually ate well yesterday. So I'm very, very fortunate in that sense. There's so many things that we can actually be grateful for if we take a look at it. Chris, I know your South African trips are knackering you out, but at least, you know what? You're still able to travel, buddy. And that's what makes it worthwhile. And you put a smile on people's face. And as you were saying the other day, people are walking in the street and just saying, hey, aren't you? And they know you already. So, you know what? I just wish they could put you on a television network. I really do. You would do so great on a TV network. But my friends, when you open your fridge and there's food, be grateful. When you go to sleep and there's a roof over your head, be grateful. And if you wake up tomorrow morning and you've got to go to work, be grateful. It's more than a lot of people can say. From my side, take care, be good. And if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers, cheers.